you overtrade, you chase, you revenge trade, you break rules you fully understand, and afterwards you're sitting there thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? And here's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. The reason this hurts so much isn't because you lost money. It's because every time you screw up a trade, it confirms something that you already secretly believe about yourself. That you can't be consistent. That you always give it back. That when things start going well, you somehow ruin it. And that belief is heavy. Because after a while, it stops being about trading. It starts feeling like this is just who I am. And once you believe that, discipline doesn't save you. Discipline just delays the inevitable blow-up. This is where a book called Psycho-Cybernetics completely changed how I think about trading psychology. The core idea is simple. Your brain is always trying to act in a way that's consistent with your self-image. Not who you want to be, not who you're trying to become, but who you actually believe you are. And the uncomfortable truth is, most traders have a fucked up self-image. Deep down, a lot of people see themselves as inconsistent, impulsive, someone who always gives it back, someone who can't hold winners, someone who always gets it right but not quite. So even when you have a good plan, even when you know exactly what you should do, your behavior slowly drifts back towards that identity. Not consciously, automatically. That's why self-sabotage feels so confusing. You're not choosing to fuck things up. Your brain is just pulling you back to what feels familiar. And this is exactly why revenge trading happens. Revenge trading isn't really about the money. That's just the surface level story we tell ourselves. What's actually happening is that a loss hits your self-image. It feels personal. It feels like proof that you're not who you thought you were. You don't think, okay, one trade doesn't matter. You feel, I fucked up. I can't end the day like this. I need to fix this right now. That feeling is your identity being threatened. And when your identity is threatened, your brain doesn't give a shit about logic or probabilities or long-term thinking. It wants relief immediately. So you click again, you size up, you break rules, not because you're greedy, but because your brain is trying to protect you from feeling like a failure. That's why revenge trading feels urgent. It's not about profit. It's about escaping that internal discomfort as fast as possible. And here's where discipline actually makes things worse. When your self-image is bad and you rely on discipline, what you're really doing is forcing behavior that doesn't match who you believe you are. You're constantly swimming upstream against your own identity. And according to Psycho-Cybernetics, when there's a mismatch between behavior and self-image, tension builds up. And tension always snaps back. That snapback is the spiral. That snapback is the blow-up day. That snapback is giving it all back after a good run. Identity always wins. The real question is, how do I fix my self-image so I don't need discipline to behave correctly? And that's where things finally start to make sense. The first thing that helps is removing options, because ambiguity is where your bad self-image lives. If you're trading 10 different setups, 5 different markets, 3 different sessions, your brain is constantly negotiating with itself. And when your brain is negotiating, emotions get a vote. More options doesn't mean more opportunity. It means more pressure, more second guessing, more chances for your old identity to hijack you. When you strip it down to one market, one session, one setup, something changes. Your goal stops being make money and starts being make every trade look the same. And repetition is what rebuilds identity. The second thing is structure. Most traders are exhausted not because trading is hard, but because they're asking themselves the same questions every single day. Should I trade now? What setup am I looking for? Should I hold this or cut it? Should I be aggressive or conservative? Those decisions should not be made in the moment. They should be made once ahead of time when you're calm. When structure is in place, trading stops being a series of emotional decisions and becomes execution. And execution is way less taxing than thinking. The third is killing ambiguity. Most so-called discipline problems are actually clarity problems. Be patient means nothing. Manage trades better means nothing. Your brain can't execute vague instructions. When rules are clear and specific, there's nothing to argue about internally. And when the arguing stops, execution becomes almost boring. Now this is where detachment from outcome finally makes sense. People talk about detaching from the outcome like it's some mindset trick, like you can just tell yourself not to care. That's bullshit. Most of you aren't attached to your trades because you're emotional. You're attached because too much of your life is riding on this shit working. Trading isn't just trading for you. It's the escape plan. It's the way out of a job you hate. It's the thing you're telling yourself is going to fix everything. So when a trade goes against you, it doesn't just feel like a loss. It feels like the door closing. It feels like time is running out. It feels like you're failing at the one thing that's supposed to save you. And when that's the emotional weight on a single trade, of course you're going to overmanage it. Of course you're going to revenge trade. Of course you're going to move your stop loss. Of course you're going to panic. Your nervous system isn't reacting to the chart. It's reacting to the idea that your life depends on this. Detachment isn't something you think your way into. It's what happens when there isn't too much on the line. If you're risking money you can't afford to lose, you will be attached. There's no way around that. Your nervous system reads that as a threat. If trading working out is the only thing giving you hope, progress, or a sense of worth, you will be attached. That's why fixing your life outside of trading actually matters, because it lowers the emotional leverage trading has over you. When less is on the line, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your behavior stabilizes. And the last piece is changing the scorecard. If money is the only thing telling you whether you're doing well, your self-image will always be fragile. One loss and you're spiraling. So you start tracking identity wins instead. Did I follow my rules? Did I avoid revenge trading? Did I stop when I said I would? Those moments are evidence. And Psycho-Cybernetics is very clear about this. Self-image changes through evidence, not motivation. Every small win tells your brain, this is who I am now. And once that belief starts shifting, discipline isn't something you force anymore. Your behavior just lines up. Not because you're stronger, but because you're finally not fighting yourself. And honestly, that's the real fix. There's an exercise the book calls the theater of the mind, where you're relaxing first, then deliberately visualizing yourself handling situations the right way. You're not supposed to relive mistakes emotionally, but to replay them corrected so the brain learns the right pattern. You're protecting your self-image by catching negative self-talk early and replacing it with neutral facts. And by consciously acknowledging small wins, so your self-image is built around success instead of past errors. What I find the most helpful is accumulating these small wins and focusing on them to build the idea and justification for why the next goal you visualized is also achievable and is in line with your self-image. At the end of the day, it really comes down to belief. If you believe you're lacking, you'll naturally gravitate towards more lack. But when you focus on the wins you've already had and start reshaping your belief system around that, it's only natural that you begin attracting more of the same.